midway point for a season that sailed by welcomed Iowa Western football's biggest challenge of the season, Week 6. A game with 5th-ranked Georgia Military and a game that brought with it championship implications as Iowa Western looked to continue a winning streak that's dated back to 2011. Would it be a defensive showdown or a shootout down south? We'll find out coming up on the Coach Stroh Show here on CBTV Channel 17. Hello and welcome to the Coach Stroh Show on CBTV Channel 17. I'm Jake Ryan, joined by Iowa Western head football coach Scott Strohmeyer. Coach, you enter this week's contest with a game that had been on the radar since the schedule was released in the spring. Georgia Military, the Reivers, quite a game they gave them in 2012, and you look back at that game, you know exactly what they're going to bring at you. How would you classify the prep that you got to do for this? For a guy that loves a challenge, how would you classify this? Did you guys enjoy preparing for this game, or was this something that you were a little bit stressed, couldn't sleep, and that kind of thing?
Combination, probably. No, I mean, like I said, as a coach or as a player, I mean, that's what you're as a coach, what you're in the business for, is big games like this, where it's nice to play a team that does what they're supposed to do. They're well coached. Georgia Military, their staff did a heck of a job, so we knew they were going to be well coached, and I knew their team. They're a talented team, so it was a great challenge. Unfortunately, maybe it didn't work out the way we anticipated, but I guess as a coach or a player, that's what you got to look forward to.
Well, these two teams put up 90 points in 2012. Let's take a look at the highlights from this week's game on September the 28th. You start off and you get the ball right away on the opening kickoff, and then took you 4 plays, but from 6 yards out, Keith Teague finally scores, and you're up 6-0 quickly in the game, and then the extra point makes it 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice way to start it off. Obviously, give us a little bit of a sigh of relief, and it took us 4 plays to get 4 yards, but we got in the end zone.
Georgia Military gets the ball back, finally fields the kickoff, and they will start things. Here's another good tackle by the Reivers early on. You kept their star running back, Javon Robinson, in check. This time it's a pass out to Darius Williams, who was also kept in check. And a guy that maybe we didn't see or we didn't hear much about, Patrick Thomas, their quarterback, a little very slender, very mobile quarterback. You do hold him to 3 and out on this drive, though.
Yeah, and he was banged up from the Blinn game, just starting to get back healthy, and defensively came out real well, and offensively we got a penalty and early down and put us in behind the chains, so we had to punt the next drive.
Forced to punt it away. Connor Thomas had a heck of a day punting. We'll just talk about the fact that he handled a couple of snaps that were a little bit over his head. Here, Georgia Military tries some trickery. Their quarterback starts walking to the sideline. We were commenting on it, and then we saw the snap. We weren't fooled by it, and neither were your defense.
We were screaming it out as well. I guess that you got the other team on its toes when they're throwing trickery out at you right away.
Well, here is a pass that was negated because of a penalty, and that will come back. That was going to get him down inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and it was good. We stopped them, so we're still up 7-0. We're backed up. We got to get out of the goal here. Is you got to get a first down just to get it started.
Well, Austin White, a couple of carries. This one out on 2nd and 9, and didn't get much. And you guys are forced to punt again. And Georgia Military finally got something going on this next drive. And I believe, as Thomas is tackled here, this is the drive that they went for it on 4th down, had to bring in a backup quarterback. Here's that play, and Javon Robinson thrusting forward his biggest gain of the game, 14 yards.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they run that play a lot, and it's tough. I mean, they get it to them. Another trickery coming up here.
Flea flicker here. That's going to result in a completion, and you guys get the tackle just outside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, like I said, back-to-back possessions, they come out and trick plays, and they do a good job of scouting us. We're aggressive in the secondary, and did a good job of getting to us.
Well, they end up coming up short of things. Great play there by Dan Henry, who popped that ball out. They try for the field goal. The first one didn't go through. The second one bangs off the upright and down. So they commit a penalty, gives them a second chance at a field goal, and it finally gets them points on the board. Here's a big play by the Reivers, out of bounds by Geronimo Allison.
Yeah, and it was called back, maybe a borderline call there and a holding, but it was now we're sitting back. Now we're sitting in 3rd and 11 again. So we got to get the ball moving and be more efficient on first down.
Still in the first quarter here, and the Reivers up 7-3, and just couldn't get the running game going. I know it was like 35 carries for 73 yards. Here's another great kick by Connor Thomas. How about this one? Bounces, and then right on top of it is Mondo Williams gets down there, and at the one, not bad. You go for it deep in their own territory. I mean, usually that's a play where you kind of flip a coin to decide whether you go, but you do choose to punt it, and it pins them deep.
Yeah, and with their offense, I mean, make them go the whole field. And now it's a field position game, and we come back with a little play action pass, and Brock gets down inside the 5-yard line there.
Yeah, it ends up resulting in a field goal after this drive. But talk a little bit about the tight ends and why maybe they weren't targeted more than they were.
Well, it's tough. Like I said, the way the defense that they play, and we had to settle. That's a touchdown you got to get in a big game like this. You're first and goal inside the 5, and we have to settle for a field goal. But it was a little bit more challenging. The more guys we bring in the box, the more guys they bring in the box.
Here's a big return by Georgia Military, and finally brought down. Good job there by Alex Langer, staying put, and gave his guys a chance to catch up and knock the ball carrier down.
Yeah, and now that changed the field position again. Again, right here's a play. Those, we had to make that play, and if we make that, they end up scoring on this drive. And so I mean that's how close this game was. It comes down to making a play or not, and just I guess the way it was going early.
Georgia Military, one of those teams that goes for it on 4th down a lot, and they converted several in the game. You see Darius Williams getting one there, now across the middle, and this one right behind the secondary. Great pass by Pat Thomas, and he outstretched arms to the receiver, and he hauls it in. Letman does.
Yeah, and that ties up the game there. So we miss an opportunity to go up 14-3, and then we miss an interception, and then you come back to this one here, and this one really hurt as well.
And the Reivers chasing the ball carrier around. Neely on the return, 85 yards after it was tipped in the air, and just a guy. How about a block in the back there, Coach? I mean, you look at the replays and things were called, things weren't called, but that right there was a big play in that first half. But you're only down a touchdown on the road, and you come back and start moving the ball again.
Another play here, and then we get called for a holding there right as in the screen. Again, now we're put back again. So as we're playing behind the chains, it's really challenging. We get a good gain here, Keese, to get us out of that, though.
Yep. Again, as the second quarter continues to wind, you get Connor out, tries to get a run going, and it just pulled down from behind, forced to punt yet again. And then Georgia Military goes to work offensively this time.
Yeah, in that drive there, we're sitting in 3rd and 15 or 20 again. It's tough, and then you give them the ball, and now they're moving it in the pass game. They did a nice job in the pass game. This is probably the best this guy's thrown the football that I've ever seen of all the games. So, credit to him. He stepped up in a big game.
Well, bad timing for you
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
Here he goes on a carry, and again, just a very elusive quarterback. He did a good job stepping up in the quarterback in the pocket and getting out of trouble as well.
He did, and like I said, I mean, I don't know if he misfired on very many throws. I mean, they're all in pretty much catchable positions.
And how about Javon Robinson there? Almost drops to a knee, maintains his balance. You do force him into a field goal, and this will give him that 10-point lead that we go into halftime at. Number 5 up on number 2, and it was a back-and-forth game. You guys got that early score, and then the offense kind of went stagnant a little bit. What did you see in that first half that they were doing that slowed you down?
Well, I mean, I knew as going into it what they do defensively, it wasn't going to come, just in chunks. We had to be really patient. The biggest thing is against a team like that, you can't be in 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 15s. It's tough. I mean, the lanes to throw in sometimes are challenging, but when you're in 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, now you can do a few more things. And it was about, we had a couple opportunities in the red zone. One, we had to kick a field goal. The other one, I felt we had a touchdown that, if we make a little bit better throw or we make a catch and then we miss an interception that allows them to score. So, it's right there. It's a game of a couple plays and the score is totally flipped.
Okay, well, for the first time in a long time, the Reivers head into the locker room, game planning and adjusting to a deficit. 20-10, Georgia Military at the half. Would the Reivers rally, or would Georgia Military defend their house? More Stroh Show right after this.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
We're back in the studios of CBTV 17 here on the campus of Iowa Western in Council Bluffs. You've got the Coach Stroh Show, second-ranked Iowa Western, trailing by 10 to fifth-ranked Georgia Military. Coach, it had been a long time since your team found itself trailing at the half. What was said in the halftime meetings?
Well, I wanted to see them. We were down, and we haven't been in that position very much. But it was. I wanted them to go for 30 minutes, to leave everything they had for 30 minutes. I wanted them to set the tone in the second half, but it kind of didn't work. The way we maybe wanted to. But we kept fighting, and I don't think we ever quit. But at the same time, I felt the third quarter we were a little bit flat, and I look at that as maybe something that I can do, or that I got to look at. I evaluate just like we evaluate the players and how we play. I think as a coach, you got to evaluate yourself, and maybe is there something I could have done differently or could do differently to get them a little bit more ready to go and to start that third quarter. But for whatever reason, a couple bad things happened, and then I think we were down a little bit, but it took a spark to get us going.
Well, let's take a look at those second half highlights. Iowa Western coming into the second half down 20-10. Here's the good news. You get the kick. Mondo Williams takes it just past the 20, and then the ball comes loose. Looked like he was trying to spin around a man, and not only did it come loose, but they scoop and score. And just like that, you're down by 2 scores, add the extra point. You're down by 3 scores, 27-10. And then out of that, you get the ball again. And the offense, as you said, was kind of flat to start the second half.
Yeah, that's not setting the tone in the second half, giving them a quick one, and then we get a great run on first down, and we don't get anything on the next 2 and have to punt it away, give them another short field.
And a short field with Javon Robinson, well, that didn't translate very well in the second half. He was a man possessed in that second half. After you contained him in the first 30 minutes, the second 30 minutes, he got it going.
Yeah, he did. He's a good player, man, and you really got to go 4 quarters. He's a workhorse.
34-10 at that point, and then the Reivers get going a little bit downfield, and Connor mishandles the snap, plenty of time to throws to the end zone, and that one is nearly intercepted. Again, Bryant Johnson was there. Here is this same side that they go to again. Johnson makes this catch, gets down inside the 5, and the Reivers maybe got an answer here.
Yeah.
Rivard slips, though, or actually this is Tay when Tay came in. He slips, then you go a 3rd and long, a throw to the end zone, and it's intercepted.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. You bang, we're down 34-10 real quick. We're down in the red zone inside the 5. Again, we got to score a touchdown there, and we take some of the blame for that. But at the same time, those are ones you got to get.
Georgia Military gets the ball back. Coach, I know the pick 6 resulted in a touchdown for Georgia Military, but I almost think that one right there was one of the biggest interceptions thrown all game.
Yeah, for sure. Again, you lose the momentum to start the second half, and now you're creeping back into it. It's almost like after that play, it's like, we had a chance to keep it within 17.
Well, the third quarter goes by pretty quick. Here's a great hit by Jamie Bird, and it took McGuire a little while to get up. The crowd didn't like it, but completely legal hit by Jamie Bird, and they forced to punt it away. Here's a little bit of a crowd, and then Antoine Gilbert can't hang on to the fair catch.
If anything else could go wrong in this third quarter, I'd like to see it, because right there, we had 2 special teams turnovers there, and we missed on an inside the 5-yard line offensively. Just not a good start. You're digging yourself a pretty tough hole.
Pass interference, and I'll tell you what, Javon Robinson almost handed that right to Marco Naughton, gets it back and plunges for a first down. Even the bad plays for them were going forward. You do get the ball back, though, and the Reivers start driving. Here's a strike across the middle, wide open in space, is Malcolm Moore.
Malcolm had a good day, and our receivers were tired. I said last year I don't think we ran as many 4 verticals as we did in this whole game. We were trying to stretch the field a little bit and did a nice job.
D.A. Williams forcing Georgia Military to punt. You take the ball over in the fourth quarter. Connor hands off up the middle. Keese didn't really get a chance to get much going, but he did have a couple of nice runs, and that's one of them.
He did, and that's the thing. When you're down 34-10, what can you do besides you're playing catch up? So we were in throw it mode, and here we're down in the red zone again. You got to get one. Boy, it's tough down in there. They do a good job.
Connor almost had his head taken off on that previous play, and you end up giving the ball back, and it's 34-10, and now you get it right back, though, as they start driving, and then the only turnover of the game for Georgia Military, and you guys will end up getting the touchdown on this drive, although it did take another 4 plays. Austin White finally getting it done.
Yeah, it's tough going. We missed an opportunity, and then all of a sudden we get the ball back to go in.
Finally, a 2-point conversion is made, and the Reivers get the onside kick. Nice job on the onside kick. Danham comes around and just basically sets a screen for the ball himself and recovers it. Nicely done there by the kicker.
It was big. You put it into where you get in the end zone, and now we get another opportunity. We're down by 24. Now you're down by 16. You get the ball back. You can put it in, with a touchdown and a 2-point to 1 possession.
Reivers aided by a penalty on this drive, kept the drive moving on a little second effort, and then the strike to the side, and a great catch by George Seal.
It was. That was an adjustment we kind of made there on the sidelines, and Connor made a good throw. George, a good catch. We're within 9 or 10, I guess.
Yep, and then the error comes out. Javon Robinson finally breaks that long one that you'd been dreading the whole game.
Yeah, you contain him. He's going to get, that's what we stressed, that we couldn't give up. But
41-24, still driving, still down 3 scores, but I tell you what, for as flat as the team was in the third quarter, there was a spark going in the fourth quarter, that's for sure.
There was. Again, you see a little bit of success going, and we get another score there, playing a 10-point game, and we feel we get a stop. We're in great. There's still plenty of time left. But for whatever, it just wasn't all clicking on the same page.
Well,
today.
Robinson just kept going. Jamie Bird took a sizing up hit on him there and missed, and then he rips off a big long run, and they will continue to just run it, and again into the end zone this time. And I'll tell you what, he gets going. He's just not able to stop him. His sense of balance is so low that just really there was no getting to him. Here's Connor staying alive, and then the ball caught again, trailing 48-31. Still time left, and still with 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, and like I said, that's where we felt if we could get a stop, we were in good position, that we got things rolling. They make a good, they answered on a couple big ones, and here we get it going. We're down by, 17 here.
Big chunks of yardage for the Reivers. And he's, again, still downfield, this time inside the 10. And Connor going to score his first touchdown as a Reiver right here, actually this season as the quarterback rushing. And you'll get in, it's 48-38. A try for the onside kick, and almost gave you the opportunity, but another guy on the hands team comes up, and the final score, 48-38. You spot them 14, coach, and you come up 10 short. You had to feel like there were some plays that if you had back, you would have won this ball game.
I'll tell you what, that's probably you never want to, it's so close against a good team, and to see that all the plays that you left out there. We had 2 or 3 red zone opportunities offensively that we got to get touchdowns on. We got to take care of the ball a little bit better on special teams, and a couple breakdowns in the, trying to contain a pretty good running back. And, you're right there. That's probably the most disappointing thing, and the thing that hurt the most is how close we were and we knew going in, you got to make the plays, and whoever, they made more plays than us on this day.
Those games are certainly fun when you're the winner in them, that's for sure. Number 2, Iowa Western, coming up short in their comeback bid. They fall to 5-1 with that 48-38 loss to the Bulldogs. Take a look at the final stats. Connor Brevard didn't want to have his biggest passing day as a Reiver in a loss, but that's what he gets, over 300 yards. You look at Javon Robinson, he gets about his average 179 on the afternoon and a couple of touchdowns. Gmo finally getting over 100 yards. Malcolm Moore, you said, had a pretty good day. And the turnovers is what glares out at me, 6 of them for the Reivers. Although I won't count 2 of those because they were right at the end of the first half and right at the end of the game when they knew you were going to be throwing, and they didn't result in anything. I know it counts in the stat book,
right.
But 4 big turnovers in the course of action, and only 1 for Georgia Military.
Yeah, and that's, at the end of the day, you don't win in close games if you give away the football, and we got to do a better job of taking care of it, and I guess shore up some things. We can't give it to them on the, it's catching a punt or running on a kickoff, and then we got to take care of a little bit better, on offense as well. And again, they credit to Georgia Military. They're a heck of a team, and they're going to cause you to make some mistakes, just like I think we caused them. But we got to take care of it, and in order to be successful, you're not going to win many ball games turning it over 6 times, but 4 really that counts.
Especially to a ball club that is that quality.
Yeah.
Almost a mirror image of what happened last year in Council Bluffs, where the game was close, and then they took advantage, or you took advantage of a big mistake from them and turned it into points. And by the time they looked around, it was already too late in the game to come back, and that's kind of what happened to you guys this year.
It was about identical,
Yep.
tight at half, and we pulled away with some of their mistakes, and they couldn't catch up, and it was closer here this game, but yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, IWTV student Aaron Zach will sit down with Iowa Western sophomore wide receiver Geronimo Allison. More Stroh Show right after this.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww. You should pick that up.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
For you.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
The Coach Stroh Show continues here on CBTV 17. I'm Aaron Zach, joined by Geronimo Allison. Welcome, Geronimo.
How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. What have you done this morning?
Had class at 9 this morning, attended, and been getting a little rest. 12 o'clock class got canceled today.
Oh, so you got to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah, resting up.
Have you fully recovered from that 18-hour drive yet?
Sort of, kind of, it was a long drive, a long, brutal drive, but sort of, kind of, I recovered.
I'm still recovering from it. I mean, I got home at 7:30, but I didn't get to bed till like midnight working on the package.
The drive was long. It was tough.
It really was,
Yeah.
You had major experience, valuable experience from being on the team last year. How has it been going for you so far?
We've been helping out, going out there this year, being a starter again. My experience from last year being with those guys has been helping me a lot this year.
So if I were a defensive player and I was lining up against you, what kind of scouting would I have to do?
Gotta be quick with reaction. Because, when I'm out there, I'm going full tip. I'm out there ready to run around, fly around. So you gotta be quick on your feet.
So do you like to run through the middle, or do you like to run on the outside, or what kind of routes do you like to run?
Just any way I can get open and get the ball in my hand. Coach do a good job of that. Just routes that get me open in good space.
So what's the greatest catch you've had so far this being at Iowa Western, I should say?
All my catches, really. All my catches been precious to me here at Iowa Western.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, you've had some spectacular catches, especially in the last game.
Yeah. Connor was doing his job, making plays, getting me the ball, and I was just trying to hold up the other end of the bargain and catch the balls that he'd throw my way.
So speaking of Connor, what kind of relationship do you have with him?
Me and Connor are good friends. We talk, we communicate on and off the field. We watch film, we find ways to just try and break down defenses, find habits that they got, tendencies that they have to make plays when we out there together.
So do you still keep in contact with some of the former players that you played with last year?
Yes, I always contact, I'll stay in contact with Martez Barr, Deion Long, Jake, Aaron, Don. They always contact me to see how the season going, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing here on and off the field.
Do you ever call up Deion, since he was your mentor last season? Do you ever call him up to ask for some advice or how to improve your play?
Yeah, he always texts me after every game and want to know what's my stats or what I do. And if they not up to his part, he always give me a little grief, saying that I need to do better, what I need help on. If I need help, I always ask him, and he helped me out as much as he can.
So off the field, what kind of guy are you?
Laid back. I kind of stick to myself a lot. I'm very laid back.
Thanks, Geronimo, for being on the show today. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up after the break, Jake Ryan talks with Coach Strohmeyer about this weekend's road trip. We'll be right back.
It's not his new group of friends, the video games, or the neighborhood.
Mom, do I have to go to school today?
The biggest threat to your child's future could be you. Every day they miss puts their graduation at risk.
We're back to wrap things up here on the Coach Stroh Show on CBTV Channel 17. Coach, it was not a good day to be a top 5 team on Saturday. Top-ranked Navarro, 4th-ranked Copiah Lincoln also taking a tumble. This week, the computer rankings start factoring in, and Iowa Western finds itself the top-ranked one-loss team in those rankings at number 7. That's pretty important. Georgia Military finds himself at number 1 a week after beating number 2 Iowa Western.
Yeah, well, hopefully it shows that there's some parity, amongst, in the top 15, top 20 anybody can beat anybody on any given day, that you gotta bring your best. But to be where we're at 7, I mean, considering what happened, obviously you take care of business. I think I know where we're at.
Yeah.
And but to be at 7, like I told the team, unfortunately we controlled our own destiny with a W. Now we don't control. We got to take care of our business, and wherever the chips may fall, we got to hope for something else. But that's where we stand.
A lot of those teams still play each other, so there is a chance that you could get back up there. But you got to take care of business. 5 regular season games remaining, and you're back on the road this weekend to Little Rock, Arkansas. Just a short drive from the Council Bluffs area. About a 9-hour trip down south. You'll face the 3-3 Arkansas Baptist College Buffaloes. What can you tell us about a team that came to Council Bluffs and was outmatched last season? They're a little bit better this year, aren't they?
They are. I mean, they got 3 wins, and I don't think they won any last year. But to see film of them, and we've seen enough, because in preparing for Georgia Military, we've seen that game. I think Ellsworth played them as well, and they're much improved. I mean, they're good enough to, if we don't play our best, we're in for a dogfight. And so it'll see a little bit about our team and how we can bounce back. Like I said after the game, the biggest thing that we got to make sure is that Georgia Military don't beat us twice, and that's this week. The hangover from last week to now. So we're gonna have to work it out for us. They got a nice job. They did a nice job offensively, really doing well, and defensively, they do a lot of different stuff.
So just keep you on your toes is what you're saying.
It will. And it's tough because we don't necessarily know. I guess the rhyme or reason why you do what they're doing. Some of the things they're doing might be unsound at times, but it gets to you and it puts a little bit of pressure on the offense. So we're gonna have to change a few things. But I feel even after 1 day of preparing, or 2 days of preparing, that we got a few good things of how we're gonna attack that aggressive D.
How do you feel like your team's reacted to Saturday? Have they kind of been able to put it back behind them and concentrate on Arkansas Baptist, or are you seeing still a few heads hung?
Well, I think that's the nice thing about getting out to practice. Today is, yesterday Monday we didn't do anything. We gave them Sunday off. Monday we met and watched this. I said after Monday it's over with. Let's move on to the next one. And I think that's a good thing about getting out there and practicing, is now, guess what? It's over. And we'll see how. I would say from Sunday in the team meeting, there was some heads, still hanging a little bit in some disappointment, but they're 18, 19-year-old kids. I think they let that stuff slide by them pretty good.
Well, I tell you what, coming in at number 7 today in those polls has certainly got to be a little bit mood lifter, because we were guessing anywhere from 8 to 12, and to come in at number 7 and be the top-ranked 1-loss team keeps your hopes alive for the end of the season with a little bit of help, and we'll be interested to see what goes on. You take care of your end, and hopefully the polls take care of their end.
We'll do. We'll make for working for it here this Saturday.
All right, that wraps up this edition of the Coach Stroh Show. Saturday's game will come to you from Quigley Stadium, once the largest stadium in the state of Arkansas, and used for a short time by the University of Arkansas Razorback football team. It's been a while since that happened, but we'll have the call from there, and we'll have the stream for you as well. Saturday beginning at 12 noon, kickoff between the Reivers and the Buffaloes, set for 1 o'clock. For those outside the area, 897theriver.com and iHigh.com/IWCC. Thanks again to everyone involved in today's program, Coach Strohmeyer, and of course, Geronimo Allison, our great IWTV crew as well for putting the show together, and most importantly, you for tuning in to CBTV Channel 17. I'm Jake Ryan, signing off until next week. As always, go Reivers.